What's up? Happy Friday. It is about 7 in the morning, January 20th, here in Korea. Inauguration day. This time tomorrow, we'll be seeing Trump get inaugurated. But yeah, back with another Thoughts Out Loud experiment. This is session number, I'm going to say it's higher than the date, right? I think it's 23. 24. It's 24. And just this morning's been a little bit different. Things have changed. Plans. I'm a little bit late this morning, but it's okay because work call has been pushed to 12 o'clock because of the snow. We got some pretty decent snow last night here in Seoul. And I guess let me first start by saying, the next thing I'd like to address. I already started with a lot, but Thoughts Out Loud's not getting an upgrade. I'm actually filming it this morning on my Canon, my DSLR, instead of my webcam. But this isn't a permanent change. I'm actually just testing things out, testing out some audio settings for a show that I'm working on for my Soul Weaver channel for Switch. So I just want to check things out and kind of see. I'll go back and review this and kind of see if I got my settings and my lighting right. It's a little dark back there, but I think that might be okay. Yesterday went okay. I actually got the outline done with some references to some fact checking that having this the evening, and I think I'm going to end up talking about this today. But yesterday was Thursday. Thursday is my research day. This is when I kind of fact checked the creative writing that I do on Monday, and it went all right. I didn't have much of a creative writing session on Monday. I'm starting to realize that I doing it in the morning, or having like blocking out the morning. It always was a bit of like a just for now. This is what we'll do. We'll wake up after we do Thoughts Out Loud. We'll do this. I need more time between Thoughts Out Loud and work. There really isn't much. And when you consider that my son wakes up and gets ready for school, and he heads out to school, and I got like 30 minutes after that, and I like to get to work a lot earlier to grab coffee and kind of just be there and just kind of slowly transition into work mode. It's just there really isn't enough time by that standard, or with that process in place. Because coming home, so Monday and Tuesday, like the days that I've set aside to do certain things, that's what the focus is that day. But by the time, like in the morning, after getting everything set up and getting everything running, I end up with about 30 minutes spare to like sit down and start creative writing. That's not nearly enough time. And I'm aware of that, but it's just the focus of the day. So I'm fine with coming home and jumping on it in the evening. But family really makes that a different animal. It really changes that dynamic because by the time I get home, I've got to spend a little time with his son, talk to him about how his day went, and see what happened at school, make sure everything's okay there. Then I got to talk to the missus and make sure she's okay, see how her day went, and make sure everything's okay and talk about it there. Then after that, the son is like, okay, so you're home, let's play now, let's do something, and that kind of tugs on the strings of my game addiction because he wants to watch me play the games, and then pulling in two different directions. And like in the end, I end up staying up late. He goes to sleep at 9. I end up staying up a little later to try to kind of make up and do what I focused on today. And then it gets a little worse on like Tuesdays or the days I actually do conversational English with the professor, and with a college professor here in Korea. And he speaks English fine, but he just needs to constantly speak it. So our uh, we've dialed up our conversations. Like we do them a lot more often, which I like because I actually like him as a person. Like he's actually interesting to talk to, and his job, he's an industrial hygienist, and so he does a lot of things with Samsung, and we meet once or twice a month to like go out to eat. Great relationship, a great turn it into a friendship. It's really, it's one of the things I think I should cut out, but for one, it pays for every. Soul Weaver doesn't make any money. My little project doesn't bring in any cash as of yet. I'm not against doing it, but I'm nowhere near acquiring any. And it's, so to speak, it kind of pays for everything that I do for Soul Weaver. All the monthly costs for Libsyn and web hosting, anything I pay for, Aweber, the emailing list that I will talk about. That's going on a board because I'm going to talk about that on Monday because that's one of the dumbest things I've done uh, in this whole process. But what he pays me to do that kind of makes up for it, all the costs for Solar, maybe more than that. So it's one of the things that I I feel like I should let go because I would have more time, but at the same time, then I'd have to pass on that money, and that may be something that I have to do later on, like to pass on that influx of cash that comes from him, but influx, not influx, like pass on that additional, that additional stream of revenue that comes from him, and just take the hit, um, both financially and personally, because I would really like to hang with him a little more. Um, in the end, the afternoons, the evenings, trying to do things in the evenings is just tough without staying up until 11 and 12 in the evening, into the night. I have to figure out some better way to balance my time, which is this makes this week's lapse in playing freaking Craft the World till 2 o'clock in the morning all the worse, right? Like I'm just furious with myself about it now, like more than I think about it. But the great thing is, though, I've gotten the time back. So this is kind of I think sometimes you think like the universe is testing you, right? Um, it seems like so I was like up until 2 o'clock in the morning playing video games, missed out on a lot of recording time, missed out on a lot of things I could do, and then like Friday comes around, and because of the rain, like work is delayed or because of the snow, work is delayed till 12. So I got a delayed work call. I got plenty of time. That's way more than hours I spent playing Craft the World. I got plenty of time to make up for it and kind of go back and make up for that lost time that I lost for myself. But I ain't gonna lie, like the first thing that came to mind when I realized I didn't have to go to work was like, I'm gonna play a couple of hours of Craft the World. That part of my brain that still has that, like I caught it like on the way out and I said, no, we're not gonna play Craft the World. We're gonna sit down and record the podcast episodes we didn't record this week. And I caught it, and I caught myself, so to speak. And I still haven't caught myself. I got to do it first of all, right? Like I haven't done anything, so we could knock out thoughts out loud, get those podcast episodes recorded, and then go on about our business. But just the fact that that's the first thing that came to mind, like I almost couldn't help it. It's like a reflex. It just happened, and it kind of burns me up that that's my initial reflex. You almost have to figure out a way to rewire yourself. You have to rewire your brain. And so, one of the things that I consider doing to result this or kind of push myself in the right direction is uninstall Steam on my computer. I mean that's like one of these days. One of these days I'm gonna do it. I swear. Like it seems like that would be the best option. That changes things for me. Maybe I think that's better all around. To be completely honest, because I think my son only games once a week, but he wants me to play games all the time. And so this is what I'm gonna do. This is what we're gonna try to do. I'm going to give myself the same thing that Will has. I'm gonna give myself the same thing that little Will has. Like he's got a gaming day. I'm gonna do the same thing and give myself a gaming day. Like this is the day that you chill and play games, and until then, you don't play it. And then I'm gonna download that. There's actually software that you can download that limits access to certain programs at certain times, based on whatever you configure the programs to do. And I'm gonna download that. I'm gonna get that program and then configure Steam to like not open except for on the hours that I allocate myself to game, and the hours that I allocate for Will to game, a little Will to game. And that's what I'm gonna do to kind of resolve this whole issue. Like if it doesn't open, like double clicking on something and opening up a game and playing it when I know I should be doing something else is a lot easier than jumping through the hoops of going in and configuring the program, reconfiguring the program, and things like that. I think once I get to that point where I'm going through, because you can, of course, it's a program on my computer. I install it. I can control it, right? Like I can control when I want it to. I can, like, if I really wanted to play, even though it's restricted and it only lets me play on Friday nights, I can go in on a Wednesday evening when I'm supposed to be recording and be like, I don't want to record today. I'm going to play a video game. And I can go in and reprogram the program or reconfigure the program to let me play on Wednesday. But I think the process, going through that whole process, like I hope that I would like look at myself like, what are you doing? Like, don't go through the whole process of doing this and doing that. Just do what you're supposed to do tonight and knock it out. And so that's what I'm going to do. And then the next step after that, if I do find myself where I am going through that process, I'm just going to uninstall I'm just going to do something different with my computer. I might take my desktop. It's actually, you can hear it running now. I usually have it shut down. I'm going to take my desktop and put it in another room. I'm going to put it, which is saying a lot because I really love my desktop, but I'm going to take my desktop and put it in at another desk or another workstation and just not put it in the same place where I work. I'm just going to really go through the process of conditioning my mind to work in this office. I had a lot of ideas of what I want to do to kind of streamline or, like, I don't know, perfect this whole process of the whole creation process, right? Like stop the interruptions and stop the distractions. Like I almost want to configure Facebook not to work on my Mac because I do all my creation on my Mac. And like that wouldn't be a bad idea. That way I can stay focused because every so often you get distracted and things like that. But I also use Facebook to like do research. I'm using it for have an idea for a new show that I'm going to be, or a new segment, not show. The show is like a current event show, which is why I'm doing all this testing because I'm going to do it from a different angle. But I have a segment that I want to do on Thursdays where I talk about what's happening on the weekend in Korea and get some recurring issues or not recurring issues. Get some recurring I don't know, segments, some recurring creations, some recurring just content out there because the podcast is recurring, but I want to do a lot more. I want to do some more video. The refrigerator is back. Awesome. This is the first time I've ever been happy the refrigerator came on because I want to check and see what my audio set up from the mic that I have right now because I'm using a shotgun mic with my DSLR, and I want to see what the refrigerator sounds like. I want to see how inconvenient it is. Now that I'm looking at the mic, or actually looking at the screen, I see there's a little bit of white up there. This is all going to change. It doesn't matter. You won't see that in post. Yeah, you'll see it in post because this is Thoughts Out Loud, but it won't display in post on the actual segment that I'm going to do, with the show I'm going to do. So there we go. That's a lot of Thoughts Out Loud. I don't even know what to name this one because I went through and kind of, I don't know, I just hit on all kind of random things to a certain extent. I don't think I'm going to do anything tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a video for All Things Will tomorrow, like other than Thoughts Out Loud, because I haven't put any of the content that I was going to put on here. Oh, I got so much editing. Never mind. Editing tomorrow. No video, I don't think, unless Ant gets free and wants to hook up and do something of a podcast episode or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Today is Friday. The focus is creative writing. But I think I'm going to take some of that time, some of the extra time I have now to catch up. And I'm going to do some of that creative writing. Yeah, cool. The focus is creative writing today. I can go ahead and take the time to do that creative writing for the February podcast that I missed on Wednesday. It's one of the reasons I missed them. Yeah. See, when things don't go right, it's backwards planned. And when things don't go right, I didn't do my creative writing correctly last Friday. I didn't have it to do the recording this Wednesday, but I couldn't do the recording this Wednesday because everybody was home. Then I could have done it because I waited till after everybody went to sleep to start gaming. I could have just recorded the podcast because everybody was asleep. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and focus on that creative writing, knock out some podcast episodes today, and get back ahead of the game because I love that feeling of being ahead of the game. I'll catch up with you guys in the next Thoughts Out Loud on Monday. On Monday, I'm probably going to. There's some quotes or there's some like inspiration things I want to do on Monday because I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to make Thoughts Out Loud themed. So Monday is I want to do some inspiration things on Monday because you have to go through the week and sometimes there's part of you that's been conditioned, part of me that's been conditioned to think Monday is not like a great day. It's like, oh, back to work. But I think Monday's a lot better. It's like a chance to like get out there and really grind. It's like everybody's out there grinding in their own different way, and it's probably a great way. It's a great time to go ahead and use your motivation to talk to people. I'll talk about it on Monday. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in for Thoughts Out Loud this week. Another full week of Thoughts Out Loud. I'm happy about it. All you guys that are starting your own little thing, or not all, but those of you who have watched this and have started like your own thing, Ant, Harris, Rob, X, thanks for watching and tuning in and posing a question for earlier. Greatly appreciate you guys' time because you guys, I do realize you guys are my friends. I know we're all tight, but even still, taking your time to like stop what you're doing and watch what I'm doing here is greatly appreciated. I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the love. Much respect. I'll go ahead and continue to do this. It really does help me. It really does motivate me to keep this going and know that somebody's watching it. I thought it wouldn't be anybody at all for the next 6 months. Thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be out here. Thoughts Out Loud. Will Brooks out.